What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Friday night interactive sports talk. It's the Play Callers, brought to you by Sideline Sports Network. And of course, I am one half of the dynamic duo, Stephen Box, joined as always by my co-host, the one and only.
Cool, McCain. I just want to make sure that we lift that up one time. Let's go.
Peace up, A-Town down. Together,
Yeah,
the Play Callers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So, I know we don't normally talk a lot of baseball and we got lots of other stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a few seconds here at the beginning of the show just to, give a shout out to your Braves who just won the World Series, man.
Yeah, man. It's going to be real simple, real quick. Like I said, start a packed show. We got a lot to get to, not a lot of time. But Atlanta Braves, first time since 1995, World Series champions. Great feeling. I myself am no longer in Atlanta, so wasn't able to be part of the parade or any of those things. But just the feeling of knowing that, a team that you cheer for that has suffered a long time, hasn't been able to get there in so long. We're talking about Dallas Cowboys' time without a championship. And we all know this a long time. So to win that one, sweet feeling, man. It feels good. I'm really happy for the city, happy for the team, and happy for the players.
I much respect the fact that you just simultaneously congratulated your team while taking a shot at your arch rival. I really respect that.
It comes natural, man. It comes natural.
So tell the people, man, what do we got in store for them this evening?
So several different things, man. We've had a lot of NFL news. We're going to hop on some of that early. We're going to have some of our Sideline Networks people come on with us and talk a few of the others later on. But I mean, I guess we got to start with NFL injuries, man. It's been crazy, right?
It really has
so many
been.
injuries, but there's a few that I think are very important. And the main one, of course, would be, unfortunately, the heart and soul of Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry goes down, man. It's tough. It's difficult in the league. That's one of those guys that a lot of people that don't even watch sports or really watch casual fans know Derrick Henry the way he's been running the ball lately. So that sucks for the Titans. It sucks for the NFL. Sucks for us as fans, and anyone who had him in fantasy, that sucks for you as well. But, they did bring in Adrian Peterson. I don't think Adrian Peterson in his advanced age can be what Derrick Henry was. But when these things happen in the season, man, you just have to get what you can get and, try to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with this happening so close to the trade deadline, which I know is something we're going to talk about here in a minute. But, you didn't have a whole lot of time to try to make a move. And no one was going to go give you a back that was going to be a true replacement for Derrick Henry. So,
True.
I mean, you just had to do what you had to do. This is why it's so important to have depth.
Yeah. Very important, man. It's one of the most important things in sports, right? You can be great at the top, but if you can't supplement that with, other at least serviceable players, you're in trouble. Like you look at Minnesota Vikings, perfect example of a 1-2 running back combo that works. You've got a guy that goes out there, is a monster, this guy's boy, but then he gets hurt. There's another guy, and Alexander Madison, that can come in and put up the same type of numbers. So you got to start looking at teams having that 1-2 combo, especially in today's NFL with so many injuries, man. We've got Michael Thomas. He's not going to be able to, play this year.
By the way, I called that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you did call that. So that's disappointing. Lots of other injuries. I mean, we could spend the whole day talking about injuries, but pretty much to sum it up, man, there's a lot of guys in the NFL who are hurt, banged up. They may play or may not. We've got Kyler Murray. Also, not sure if he's going to be able to play. So a lot of different people. Yeah. So for those of you who play fantasy sports, man, pay attention. Don't do like me last week and not see that one of your players is out. Thankfully, it hurt me in one league, but pay attention, and if it's a team that you cheer for or a player you like, man, and you see that they go down, it does suck. But again, you got to remember it's part of the game and just be ready, man. I mean, the next guy's got to step up. The Braves are a perfect example of next man up. You got to do it. That's the only way you can be successful.
And I would just say, man, I really just hope for Kyler Murray's sake that he just goes ahead and just takes a week off. You don't want to make that any worse.
Hmm.
This would be a great week for you to take off.
I'm wondering, just out of curiosity, who could they possibly be playing this week?
Oh, just some team in San Francisco.
Okay.
Nothing majors. It's not
Gotcha.
it's not
Gotcha.
it's not like I'm a big fan of the team or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I had no
Just
personal
curious about
bias in
that.
this at all.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to
Oh no.
remind
This is
myself.
this is this is totally about Kyler Murray's long term health, man. Definitely,
I
nothing
got you.
else at
I
all.
got you, man.
Yeah,
So admirable of you to be so focused on that man's long term health, man.
I
You almost
appreciate
think
that.
that he played for your team.
Yeah, I also have a bridge I would like to tell you if you're interested in buying it.
Yeah, I'm all out of the bridge buying business, but I appreciate that. Uh, Another big NFL story, man. Might as well dive into it. Is Henry Ruggs.
Yeah,
So we've heard this a couple of days now, but the one thing I want to say first before any discussion, man, is RIP to the young lady and her dog. That were killed in the accident,
yeah,
and there's nothing that you can do to bring back a life when it's gone, right? So there's been a lot of people on both ends of the fence with Henry Ruggs. I've seen podcasts where they're just slamming this guy and making him out to be this ultimate villain and just a piece of trash person in society and all that. Then you've had people that are kind of like on the other side too much. Um, my personal opinion on everything is you made a grave mistake. You're going to pay for that mistake for some years. But I think that what we as a society need to get to is whatever this man um, time this man has to do for what he's done. If he comes out and he's still in the right shape, the right state of mind, and he can still play, I believe that just like some other guys who have, had some unfortunate things happen, he should be able to have an opportunity to continue his career in the NFL. His debt to society needs to be paid first. So make that clear. There is no part of me that's like, oh, he should get off with probation. That someone died. You made a poor decision, a horrible, horrible decision. There was no way that you would have said to yourself, if you knew the outcome and you could go back, that you would have drove. Clearly, that's a bad decision, but at the same time, man, it's something that definitely needs to be rectified. And he's got to pay for what he's done. That's one thing, but also, man, once he's done that, once he's paid that debt, man, we should welcome him back and give him the opportunity, and cheer him on and give him the opportunity to continue his career if it does so happen he has the opportunity.
yeah. I mean, I'll just say, man, it's on one hand it's frustrating because we all know how dangerous it is to go out and drink and drive, right? It's not
Hmm.
it's not at this point like it's a shock.
Right.
I mean, so if I understood correctly, I believe that he also just had a child recently.
Hmm.
So he has a young child. His girlfriend was also in the car with him, I read. So she suffered serious injuries. And then
Hmm.
obviously the person in the other car, lost their life. So this is a situation in which you went out and you made a decision that was completely preventable. And you've ended someone's life and you've thrown yours away. And I really hope more than anything else that other people will look at this situation and learn from it, man. I mean, I hope that he'll actually, maybe become one of those voices to like tell people like, look, don't do what I did. Do better. Because I think sometimes I mean, we all remember being young, man. We all know we did stupid stuff when we were young, right?
Yep.
And although I don't drink, so I've never had this particular thing. I know I've certainly done other stuff that was stupid and things that could have potentially caused harm to myself or other people. So I think all of us when we're young, we make those kinds of decisions. So I'm not going to sit here and beat him up and, all this other stuff. But I am just going to say that this is something that he needs to speak up about because people I think are going to be more likely to listen to him. Other young people would be more likely to listen to him because they're then sitting there thinking, oh, that's not going to happen to me. And when you have older people telling you stuff, you just ignore it most of the time because you're just like, you just don't want me to have fun, whatever, whatever. But if you have somebody who's going through that actually come out and speak up and be like, yo, I messed up, and be kind of a symbol or an example for some of these other young players, man, if it even just gets one or two guys to not go out and do something like this, that would be great, man. Just
Yeah,
so we don't have stuff like this happen.
Keyshawn Johnson said it best. He's actually already close to him and Rose. He said it best, man. A lot of times when you go out, you're partying, you're drinking and stuff, just get a driver. You
Yeah.
have the availability of funds, just have you a driver.
Yeah.
But bad decision made, a lot of ramifications. Now, I do agree, that going out, talking about it, doing those things would be helpful. But let's be real. For the next few years, he's not going to be talking to anybody.
No.
But once he's done with paying his debt, however long that is,
Yeah.
that's definitely something that he should be wanting to do to, try to make recompense for what's happened, man. I mean, you ended a life. You didn't do it purposely, but you ended a life, and that's something that he's going to have to live with. Um, as well as his girlfriend who was in the car with him, who, didn't say let's not drive as well. So that's something, she's going to have to live with as well. I hate that it happened, man. It's what I would consider like a real tragedy, but I do feel like you said, the main thing that needs to come from this is the awareness, people talking about it, those groups stepping up and saying we have the platform now. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about drinking and driving. Put things in place. If one of the things I've always thought is we talk a lot about drinking and driving. We've been talking about this since we were kids, right?
Right.
The one thing about it is now we have Uber, now we have these things. Why don't we have something where Uber will pick you up, take you home. Uber will take care of covering the costs for that so that you're not out drinking and driving. I mean, not just for stars, but for a regular person. Those are the type of things that need to be in place to help people so that you don't make bad decisions. So just just one of the things I was thinking about, just a little side conversation piece, but it's definitely something that I feel like needs to happen.
Yeah.
And, we have to do better at trying to help not have these things happen. We can't make the decision for the person. We can't tell the person not to get there, but we can make it so, okay, I am a little drunk. Maybe I'm drunker than I think I am. I'm just going to go ahead and hit Uber up, put the I'm drunk on there. They'll come pick me up, take me where I need to go. That's there. I think that helps some people, not everybody, but at least maybe that can curb it a little bit.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, man, with this particular situation, it's I think maybe even a little bit worse because you're in Vegas, which has probably more like taxis and Ubers and stuff than anywhere else in the entire country. So, you had those opportunities in front of you. I do want to just say one thing real quick, man, to anybody that might be out there listening. I know in this day and age of the internet, man, we all love to make memes and post them all over social media and all this other stuff. And I just want to ask people with this particular situation before you go start posting memes about this, keep in mind that those memes might come back around to the family of this young lady that lost her life. And I promise you, they're not going to find it funny.
Well said. Well said. But on to a little bit of a brighter note. We're sliding a little bit more into the NBA season. We're not going to talk like standings or anything yet, but for you, just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What player or team has surprised you so far? And what player or team has disappointed you so far?
Uh, I mean, honestly, man, I feel like we're a little too early in the season for me to feel disappointed or excited about anybody. I mean, I only kind of pay attention to basketball season right now until around Christmas. Really, as the NFL starts to kind of wind down, then I dive into it a little bit more. And part of that is because I think right now, at this time of the season, everyone's still trying to figure out how to gel together. Um, for me, a disappointment would be if you got a team that it's largely still the same. That's not really playing as well as they would be expected to. Um, for me, a little bit more of an interesting story in terms of the NBA when you talk about surprises. Although this is something I'm actually surprised by, but we look at the rule change and how that's actually affected the game. Because on one hand, guys like James Harden, Chris Paul, their numbers are hurting because they're not getting cheap foul calls. But on the other hand, the game is actually moving faster. Time possessions are actually a little bit lower. Guys are actually shooting more field goals, and there's less free throws being shot, slowing down the game. So I think overall, that's actually making the game better. And for me, that's actually the most appealing storyline in the NBA at the moment. Now, come Christmas, January, I think we have a much better sense of where guys are. And I'll definitely have some opinions on disappointments and surprises at that point.
So what you're really saying is Kyrie Irving and I mean not Kyrie Irving, excuse me. He's always on my mind because he's just so ridiculous. What you're really saying is James Harden and CP3 are disappointing players. That's what I'm going to take from what you just said. And to answer my own question,
If you want to roll with
I'm
that,
going to
sure.
say, yeah, I'm going to say Miami is the surprising team because the assembled pieces are working well together. It's a new team still in that process of gelling, but they are looking really well.
Yeah, and I think that's
Um,
fair. I mean, for a team that's gelling together, I think it's fair to say there's for us.
Yep. And the team that's disappointing me the most right now, I actually said last night it was the Lakers on another show I was on Wednesday. So I'm actually going to stick with that for now. Um, it is a team that's newly put together, but I think to myself, if you got teams like Miami that are new together with a lot of important pieces that they're just bringing in and they're able to be solid right now and be impressive, then why can't a team with the most veteran team in the NBA, why can't they be a little bit better? Thing about it is, I don't expect it to continue. I don't expect Miami to be as good as they are as the season goes on. And no disrespect to Miami, but I think some of those other teams like Milwaukee, um, you could actually throw the 76ers in as a surprising team because of all the offseason turmoil, and they're playing well. And there's others as well. But those are ones that I expected to maybe be a little bit less than they are, but they're playing well. So I always like to throw a little NBA sprinkled in there just because why not? It's the NBA.
Yeah. I will just say on those, like for me personally, I'm not too shocked by Philadelphia because the thing is, with all the turmoil, it's actually technically kind of outside right now. So I think it's actually brought them a little closer together. So I'm not really that surprised that they're actually playing better than expected. The Lakers, I honestly think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that those guys are running a marathon while some other dudes are running a sprint because they all like 35 plus years old, man. Like the youngest dude on the team is like 28. So, they not gonna go out there and get it all they got this early in the season. They just trying to make the playoffs and then they'll turn it on. Or at least that's their
the,
plan, I think.
the most impressive player on y'all's team has been Carmelo Anthony.
I
I'm very
mean,
impressed with the way he's played.
look, Carmelo's actually playing some defense. I'm shocked.
His scoring kind of do it whenever.
Yeah.
All right. Don't know what's going on. Yep. So I want to throw my audible real quick. It's going to go outside of what we normally talk about. Then we have a couple of guests that we're going to be bringing on. But I quickly just want to throw an audible. So this is something that we don't talk about a lot. But the WWE, right? It's a wrestling organization, supposedly the best in the world, or at least they say the best in the world.
Right.
I'm going to read you a quick list of some of the names that they've released this year.
Okay.
And anyone who watches are going to know a lot of these names. Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, Andrade, Keith Lee, Nia Jax, Taya Valkyrie, Ember Moon, Mia Yim, Bobby Fish, Leo Ruff, Ric Flair, Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux. That's just part of the list. My issue, you're continually bringing in people. You're continually moving on from quality top tier talent, and you're allowing them to go to other places and flourish. So what you're really saying is we suck at doing our job, which is making people better. So since we suck at doing our job is making people better, when we realize that we can't give people what they need, we're just going to jettison them. They're going to go somewhere else and show that it's not an issue with the talent. It's an issue with how they're being presented, the storylines they're given, the creative process. So WWE, as you continue to get rid of all the people that fans really care about, what you're going to find is what's happening with me and a lot of other people. There are alternatives: AEW, Impact, New Japan, MLW, several others. What you're going to find is right now you're number one, but as you allow everyone else to get this talent and improve it, you're going to find that you're no longer number one. And kudos to you for having a run on top, but you're actually turning into WCW, and we see what happened to them. So guess what? it's your fault when it happens to you.
I feel the incredibly strong urge to like, what you gonna do, brother?
Oh yeah.
So,
Couldn't help it.
So my audible this week actually is on David Carr, the brother of the Raiders quarterback Derek Carr. So listen, you want to come out and support your brother. I totally respect that. You want to come out and try to make an argument that your brother is the MVP. Okay, I mean, you're his brother, so I understand why you might be thinking crazy like that. And although he has played well, he has certainly not played at the MVP level. But then for you to come out in the midst of everything going on around the Raiders organization, all the Gruden stuff, the stuff that just happened with the Ruggs, and then especially with it being right after the Ruggs stuff, to come out and start talking about this as if your brother is some kind of like victim in all this, that he's been put into this horrible situation. Just a bad decision, dude. Just a really bad decision.
So, hey, man, what can you say?
I mean, dude, he said not only should he be the MVP, that he might actually be the most deserving MVP candidate of all time.
It's his brother. I mean,
yeah.
Are we really taking this seriously?
I'm just laughing, bro, because I'm like, just leave me his, man. Like the discussion about the repercussions of concussions, no longer debatable, man. All you gotta do is go listen to David Carr.
Well, guys, we're gonna bring on our guest for the week. We're gonna start with Miss Kari, the Chiefs fan. We found a real genuine, guys, Chiefs fan. Not somebody that's just from Kansas City and since they're their home team, or somebody actually just started watching the team when they started winning, but a genuine Chiefs fan. They are like unicorns. We found one.
Welcome to the show, Unicorn Chiefs fan.
How's it going, guys?
Going good.
Yeah, I'm gonna date myself, but I started watching football with my daddy, and it was before I could really speak, and so I called it football. And we drank the gold Coors full top cans, so I always got to open the can of beer and drink the foam down. That's how long and my hair was in pigtails. That's how long I've been a Chiefs fan.
There we go.
It's a pretty long time.
So I'm not a bandwagon anyway. No, I've been there through the lean years, and we had some success, but when Mahomes was added, and this is where I'm gonna telling myself as well, is I liked Alex Smith. Looking back now, he took too long in the pocket, trying to find the perfect move, and that's the past. But I wasn't happy because I was like, Alex was just finally kind of getting in a stride, getting things in, and then we drafted Mahomes. So, I'm even one of those people that wasn't really pleased that we drafted a quarterback because I felt like Alex was just getting his mojo about him, but he's not the kind of game hustler that Mahomes is.
I bet you're not too upset about that now, huh?
Not at all. I mean,
not at all. Fair enough.
50-year mark was our Super Bowl win was actually what I considered my birthday present for being a fan for almost 50 years at that point. So yeah, I enjoyed the product of that draft actually. So.
And then also we'll be bringing on.
Let's just transition right here. So she brought up Alex Smith, who obviously you don't need to tell me as a 49ers fan anything about Alex Smith. I know just all about Alex Smith and how he stands in the pocket too long. But Alex Smith was drafted number 1 by the 49ers. There was a guy that we passed on in that draft who had some other controversy around him. And that's a guy that our next guest is going to have something to say about.
Mr. Rodgers.
What's up?
What's going on, Tyler? Back again.
Yeah.
Previous guest on the show, so we had to bring you back to talk about the Packers this week. Big game against the Chiefs.
And I got the lovely Kari over here to my right. I was supposed to talk with her last night, and unfortunately, I had some circumstances, so it's perfect.
Absolutely, I'm really excited, Tyler.
But there you go. So y'all get to talk about that a little bit tonight, and we'll get Tyler's thoughts on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing as part of this conversation too. So
absolutely,
and of course we're going to share our thoughts as well.
Sure. You guys want to start?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man. We'll start with you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers situation, and then the rest of us can chime in.
So I'm not going to stick up for Aaron Rodgers in this circumstance. I think a lot of people thought I was going to go to bat for Aaron Rodgers because he's our star quarterback. He puts us in the best position to win football games. But no, he did break protocol, not wearing his mask at press conferences. The statement that he made was false, earlier in the year when he wasn't vaccinated. I will say the team knew. The NFL knew. I don't believe that, it had anything to do with him necessarily lying about information that people didn't already know, because I believe everyone did know. But in this circumstance, like even what I heard today on the Pat McAfee show is that he was justifying a lot of things. And he was saying like, oh, I'm not a flat earther, but I'm also not an anti-vaxxer. But I'm going to give you justification to why I did this. I have an allergy towards the Moderna virus or the Moderna vaccine. So I didn't like it. I thought it was distasteful. I'm curious to know what's going to happen with the fines and with the suspension towards this, because some people are calling for a suspension, and I understand that. I understand the reasoning why, right? He put a lot of people at harm's way, but at the same time, we also have to realize what suspensions are sometimes. Like there are suspensions that we've seen of 4, 6, 8 games for domestic assault and, people hitting women and vice versa with stuff like that. So I don't understand exactly what they could do as far as a suspension. I'm expecting them to face some fines for breaking protocol for 8 weeks. And as a Packers fan, and with all this going on, Jordan Love is inexperienced. He hasn't played a snap in the NFL, but I do think that he has done everything the right way to get to this point. And, people could say what they want about him being reached in the first round and the Packers shouldn't have took him and stuff like that. However, he's here, he's playing, he's going to play Sunday, and I am happy for Jordan Love to get his opportunity.
Cool. Kari, did you want to go ahead and chime in with your thoughts here? Other than the fact you might be very glad he's not playing this week.
Well, I mean, we could use the gentle bump, but I'm going to tell you, I was really looking forward to this game. Disappointed in Aaron a lot. When we were supposed to match up last time 2 years ago, Mahomes that's when he had dislocated his knee or kneecap, whatever. I think it was just his knee rocked out of socket. But Alex was on the sidelines. Mahomes was on the sidelines, so they couldn't. The first State Farm is it State Farm? Matchup did not get to happen. So I was looking forward to this as a repeat option. This one, with Mahomes having just an injury during the game, that really isn't something that could have been avoided. I mean, it's not something you can plan for. This one he could have planned for. So I'm kind of frustrated with Aaron. He knew the options that he could take. He knew what the outcome from taking whichever path. So it just is frustrating from my side. Whether it was, I wanted to see the matchup between Mahomes and Aaron, and maybe that was would have pushed Mahomes even harder to be more in sync with the technical aspect of the game as opposed to his big flashy arm. So that's what I was looking forward to, is to see what would become of this situation. Now, that we've been given the fact that we're going to be playing against Love. Looking forward to seeing how he can handle the QB slot in, prime time type situations. I'm hoping Melvin Ingram gets on the field this week because we've added him. We need him. We need a spark in that defense that has decided to go to sleep. So that's my thoughts on the whole Aaron Rodgers not playing.
Cool. What you think? Because I know we had some conversations about this earlier in the season.
So my thing with Aaron Rodgers is you knew that you weren't vaccinated. I find it funny. The funniest thing, my thing is he took some alternative things or whatever. But when you were asked, you let everybody, you didn't come out and say you were vaccinated. You used different terminology, but you led everybody to believe that you were. You weren't. So the thing with that is you misled everybody in the public. Now, obviously the organization knew, obviously the NFL knew. So honestly, shame on you guys as well for allowing that to happen, allowing that to roll.
Yeah.
And if that were certain players, you would not have allowed that to happen. So shame on you, NFL, as well, and shame on you, Green Bay Packers. As far as fines go, Green Bay should be fined. Aaron Rodgers should be fined. I know with COVID, what they've been doing based on previous situations, they've only been fining the team. So Green Bay should definitely be fined. If they want to fine Aaron Rodgers, they probably should. I'm very disappointed also in the fact that, you were there, like Tyler said, no mask in situations where you should not have been because you weren't vaccinated. When did the league step in during those situations? Because again, the league had to know because we've already found out he petitioned for what he was doing to be considered being vaccinated. So you knew that he wasn't. And you still allowed him to sit over there and stand on the sidelines, do post-game interviews without a mask on when people that were not vaccinated were supposed to have a mask on. I understand that this would have told and been a telltale that he didn't get vaccinated, but you knew a non-vaccinated player playing in the quarterback position was probably going to catch COVID at some point during the year. And you allowed it to happen. So I'm very disappointed in all that, but I am a little excited for Jordan Love because the thing is you want to see if you can at least see some examples of the player that he could be. You're only going to get one game. Kansas City's defense, we know about that. But still, it's an NFL team, and they're going to come out there and make plays or try to make plays against you. So Jordan Love can come out there and have at least a decent game, look good in the pocket, good mechanics, make the right reads. That's going to give the Green Bay fan base, including Tyler, a little bit of hope that there may be a silver lining in the future after Aaron Rodgers.
So my thing is, we talked about these COVID protocols before the season when they got announced. Mm-hmm. And what I said at the time was, I do not have an issue if the NFL or any other employer comes out and says, hey, we require you to have this vaccine in order to work here. Right? Mm-hmm. Just like, the NBA is putting the enforcement in that, hey, if your state has these requirements, you're not going to be able to play your home games there. That's why Kari's not playing right now. So I don't have an issue with that. But I said at the time, the thing I did not like was they were talking about having separate rules for vaccinated and unvaccinated players. And basically what you were doing was you were forcing people to reveal medical information about themselves in terms of whether or not they were vaccinated. And that's exactly what this situation has forced to happen. Now, Aaron Rodgers was asked point blank, did you take the vaccination? His answer was, I'm immunized. If you as a reporter are too stupid to ask the follow-up question and say, what does that mean? Have you or have you not had the vaccine? That is your fault as a reporter. You suck at your job. Stop blaming other people. I'm not going to even be mad at Aaron Rodgers for that because he answered the question in a way that basically told you, no, I am not. And you failed to ask the follow-up questions. Now, in terms of who knew, obviously the Packers knew. Obviously the NFL knew. And I think all of you kind of pointed out all the reasons why that's obvious that both of those parties knew. So the one problem I do have is, as my co-host pointed out, you allowed this man to sit over there and be interviewed and sit in press conferences and all this other stuff, and you allowed it to happen in a period of time where other people are under the assumption that he's a vaccinated player, and they feel like they're in a safe situation, and the reality is they were not. And now, here Aaron Rodgers comes out talking about, I probably got it from a vaccinated player. Man, go sit down somewhere, dude. Just go sit down somewhere with that nonsense. Like, I don't have an issue with the way you answered the initial question. I do have an issue with the fact that you put yourself in situations to potentially get other people infected and get people sick. And that now you're coming out and instead of accepting responsibility for it, as Tyler pointed out, you're trying to backpedal and make excuses. So
yeah, and just to close on this, obviously I'll just share with you guys that I'm vaccinated for one, right? So, but I don't have an issue if someone is vaccinated or they're not vaccinated. It has nothing to do with that. But it is a body language thing with Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, you sit out during camp, right? You can't come to negotiations with your team and you're not vaccinated and you're choosing to, say these Martin Luther King quotes, on the Pat McAfee show and say that you're going to fight against unjust rules and stuff like that. But you're putting your own team in harm's way. You're showing that you're not a team player by doing so. And then you have a guy like Jordan Love who is vaccinated and he shows up to his media duties. He's got his mask on, and he's the only quarterback in our whole on our whole roster that, is not, that didn't test positive. That's why we signed Blake Bortles, to the practice squad. So we even have someone to play as a backup this week. So yeah, it's incredibly disappointing is what I'll say. Like, I've seen a lot of people in chats and conversations, and they're really saying like, I hate Aaron Rodgers, screw him, I'm rooting against him, I hope he dies, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. They're all entitled to their own opinion. I'm not going to go that far with it, but I am very disappointed in how he's handled this whole thing.
I want to just add one thing real quick on it, and then we'll jump into the game itself. Because Tyler, you brought this up. Dear fellow white people, unless you are actively protesting against racism in this country, stop quoting MLK. Stop.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I just had to get that off my chest.
Sure. No, I am with you.
I mean, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I figured.
If you disagreed with that, then we'd be like, okay, this just got awkward.
Really awkward, right?
That's a showstopper.
Cool is going to hit us with I'm more of a Malcolm X guy, actually.
So Kari, talk to us about the Chiefs. What do they need to do to win this week?
By this point, I think everyone needs to be accountable for their addition or subtraction to what's going on right now. So, Mahomes has been stepping up saying, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me. But yeah, he has those interceptions, but some of them are bouncing out of Hill's hands. Really? Kelsey's was playing drop the ball this last week. Just all these little things. The defense kind of watching, just standing there watching, as opposed to, hey, I need to chase after. I need to get this guy down. So I really feel like that Mahomes has been shouldering this, but then everyone has their addition. There's things that they have not followed through with their position qualifications, and so that's one thing, is got to get the mindset that it's not just on Mahomes' back, or it's not just on the Honey Badger. It's not just on any, one Kelsey's back. It's a shared experience. So it needs to be a shared coming together, have that coming to Jesus moment, and get to playing your position correctly. I think as far as things go, it's going to have to probably be. We do better when we do the short run, as it was evident this against the Giants. The more that we ran, the more movement we had. But we didn't have those big flashy plays that people have gotten accustomed for Mahomes to pull off, and they're frustrated. And I think that's a big issue that as a fan base we have to look at and say, hey, listen, it's not always going to be the dog and pony show. There's sometimes you're just going to get to run the game and to manage the game in that way, that aspect. I also think that we're going to have to be able to manage the time on things. We're going to have control of the time, the pace, for us to be able to pull that off. Now, I think that we can. It's just, is everyone going to show up and do their duties? That helps that out.
So, what do you think is like the reason that Mahomes personally has struggled a little bit more this year? Do you think defenses just kind of figured him out and made some adjustments to him, or what do you think is going on?
I remember when he was drafted, they said his mechanics need work, and Andy can help get his mechanics fixed. But he has that arm, and that arm is and listen, did that first season that he played all and took us to the Super Bowl was the second. I don't remember which one now. At this point, I'm kind of confused. But the arm made the big flashy plays. That's what everybody stood up to and was like, impressed. I think we have his failure to follow the mechanics 100%. Like, I heard a press conference, him saying he's got to remember to hold the ball when he's running. I'm like, well, I mean, aren't you supposed to have control of the ball when it's in your possession? You're supposed to be the one that's protecting the ball. So I think that they exposed that his mechanics are not where they should be. And now that everybody knows that part, or they see that part showing up and how they can exploit it, I think that's what's happened to Mahomes. Is he's shown his Achilles heel, and everybody's figured out how to make that really show up in the game.
Okay. So Tyler, jumping over to you, what do you think that Green Bay needs to do to help Jordan Love be successful and get a win this week?
So I've watched a lot of Kansas City too. I have NFL Red Zone, so I do get to watch everybody. And I've seen them a couple times in prime time. I do think this is going to be a tough game for Green Bay because Kansas City's 4-4. And as we know, you only really can have, 6 to 7 losses, maybe 7 losses now with it being a 17-game season. So Kansas City is going to come out there, and it is at home. So Jordan Love isn't going to be used to going to playing in the loudest stadium in the NFL. Kansas City fans really show up and they do a great job. But I will say that Kansas City has struggled against the play action. So I think Green Bay is going to run the football with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And once they start running and be able to run the ball, if they can get, multiple first downs, that play action will be there for Jordan Love later. And then you got Devontae Adams back. You got, Scantling's coming back this week. Lazard's back. Everyone's healthy except for Tunyon. Obviously, we saw he went down for the season last week. But that play action will be there. They did add Melvin Ingram. I do think that was a good addition. And if you look at the history of Melvin Ingram versus the Packers, he has actually played quite well against the Packers, which is, it's hard for me. Trust me, it's hard for me watching a guy named Ingram, beat up on my team. So I definitely think that was a good addition for Kansas City, but I'm looking for Green Bay to run the football and that play action to be there later for Jordan Love.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So both of you said something that I think I would agree is important for both of you. Kari, you actually said 2 things I really like. The first thing was accountability. Every single person in every position being accountable. Travis Kelce has not been what he should be this year. McCole Hardman should be better as a guy that's kind of slid in to have a role on the team. Tyreek Hill has to work on actually pulling that ball in and making a lot more of the catches than he's making. Mahomes has to do his thing. So it's a lot of different people that have played a part in where they're at. But the important thing is, since Edwards-Helaire went down, you guys have had trouble running the ball. You did so a little better last week. If you've watched any of these shows, you know how much I lament that my first-year head coach decided that running the ball was not important until last week. So I think running the ball is, very, very important in order to, be successful. And Tyler, you said the same thing. You run the ball. You have 2 really good backs. We talked about that earlier on the show today. We use the example of Minnesota, but Green Bay is another team in the same situation. You have a good stud back. That doesn't mean you say, oh, I've got one back, I'm good. Let me go get another guy that something happens to this guy. This guy's having an off game. You know, he got one of those tweak injuries where you really don't want to put it back in the game, that game. You have another guy that can come in and your level of running doesn't go from here to here. So I think that's important for both teams as well as defense. So I really agree with, a lot of the things that you both said. It's just going to be who can execute better in the actual game is going to determine who's going to win.
Yeah. And you actually, you nailed it. You hit it right on the head with that. I will say that this is like a lot of people don't give Matt LaFleur a lot of credit. And obviously Andy Reid, I love Andy Reid. Trust me. Like he was a quarterback coach for Green Bay. I'm a big and cool. You had him in Philadelphia, so as well. Like who don't love Andy Reid, right? I love the guy, but Matt LaFleur is a very underappreciated. Oh, cool. You don't? You're not a fan? I was gonna say Matt LaFleur though is a very underappreciated coach. I've been very happy with what he's done, and I do think he's going to come up with a game plan. Kansas State's favored 7.5 in this game, but I do think Green Bay's going to give them a fight if not win this football game on Sunday.
I'm not counting it as a walk on the park, but I also don't project what I want on. I don't know. People are like all giddy. You're like, yeah, this is an easy game for the Chiefs. I'm like, wait, have you watched any of the other games that I've been watching? Because
yeah,
the Jets come back or the Giants come back, but the whole thing is we do have the home field advantage, so that does give us a little bit of an edge. But it's going to be who shows up and who has the desire and drive to win. Did I choose them in my pick'ems? Absolutely.
Oh, you got to.
I mean, I'm going to choose the Chiefs even if I know they're going to lose. That's me as a fan.
I'm the same way. Like if we get into the pick'em, I figured Kari is going to pick the Chiefs. I'm going to pick the Packers no matter what. Chiefs, obviously, like, and it goes either way. I'm not trying to like put a built-in excuse like Green Bay's the underdog, so if they win, this is a big thing, or Kansas City, is struggling. I'm not going to do that. I just look at it as Kansas City has to win to keep pace in the playoff race, right? Just being 4-4, and they're going to want to win, and this is at home against a quarterback who hasn't had an NFL start. And then on the flip side for Green Bay, they can look at it as, well, they played last Thursday, so they've had 10 days off to play this game, as Kansas City just played on Monday night, so they've only had 6 days off. So I'm looking forward to this game, though. Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, one thing that I think is going to be very important for Green Bay in this game is how much can you protect Jordan Love, obviously with the running game, but even more importantly is when the running game doesn't manage to put you in those third and manageable situations, is Jordan Love going to be able to make a couple of those third down conversions? That's really going to be, I think, the key to Green Bay having a chance to win this game. So that's what we'll have to see. That's what's going to be interesting.
I will give one shout out real quick though. My linebacker Devondre Campbell. This is the first time I've seen this in forever. Actually was Defensive Player of the Month this week for the NFC. The Packers haven't had a Defensive Player of the Month, I believe, in like 3 years. And we have some dudes on this team. We have Zadarius Jair. Obviously, they're not playing, but shout out to Devondre Campbell. He has really made a statement in this league, and he was literally picked up on waivers last year with the Green Bay Packers. So shout out to Devondre.
I just want to say, you mean to tell me that a running game will help a young quarterback? That is so mind-blowing.
Glad I could inform you.
It's not me that needs informing, but I feel you.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm not saying who, but there are people who are paid to be NFL head coaches that don't seem to know this. So,
yeah.
I know of at least one.
Yeah. Plays rock, paper, scissors. I saw that.
Yes, it does. I guess it's been a lot of times he's winning rock, paper, scissors, and the throws are winning. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's like he's using the bomb thing when you're not supposed to. When you go rock, paper, scissors, and you have the bomb, and you're like, what? Mm-hmm. You have to pick one of the three. Come on.
Pretty much. They must have figured out his pattern this past week. They figured out how to overcome it finally.
They're like, oh, we finally figured out this scissors cut paper.
Yeah.
The paper also covers rock.
Nick Scissorani. Yeah.
Well, if your coach has shown us one thing, is that once he finds what he likes, man, he's sticking with it.
We'll see. We'll see.
So Cooley, your game is the. I mean, I have an Eagles fan in my house too. So we're gonna have either a split TV, or one of us is gonna be in the bedroom to watch the game. The timing sucks this week.
Who's the Eagles fan at your household?
My fiance.
Your fiance's an Eagles fan? Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you speaking about that.
Yeah.
With
I already like this guy. I don't even know him, but I already like him.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I already like him. He's an Eagles fan, right?
And what could be wrong with being an Eagles fan, right?
Exactly.
Although to be fair, there are quite a few Eagles fans that you don't like, so you know.
That's neither here nor there for this conversation.
Just had to point it out, sir. Just had to point it out. So let's go ahead. We've got less than 10 minutes here, so let's run through the picks for the week, and of course, we're going to ask the two of you to also participate and give us your picks as well. So we already had the Colts and the Jets on Thursday night. So starting with the Sunday games, we've got the Falcons at the Saints. I'm going Saints.
Yeah, I got Saints.
Saints. I mean, is there really a question? I mean,
there's always a chance that maybe they'll be inspired by what the Braves just did or something like that. But I'm still going Saints. I'm
staying in the A. I'm going to Falcons on my island.
Ooh, okay. Upset pick of the week.
The A Island.
Yes, sir.
We got the Broncos at the Cowboys.
Is that even a question?
This game hurts.
I'm doing Dallas.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cowboys, and I'm going to say one thing real quick, and not to be mean to Donkeys fans everywhere, but this Broncos team is going to start losing a lot. Okay, so like what their record is now, you're going to see like what they got 8-9 weeks left of the season. They're going to lose like 7 to 8 of those games. This team's going to fall apart. Going Cowboys.
Well, ponies, but we can do donkeys if that's where.
Okay, ponies, donkeys. I like it.
Yeah.
Kari, I don't like them either. They beat me in the Super Bowl years ago. Terrell Davis still gives me nightmares. So
I'm gonna have to say Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go Cowboys here. I really wish you were playing somebody better.
That really hurts to say. That hurts a lot.
The Patriots at the Panthers.
Gotta go Pats.
Yeah, I like the way the Patriots are playing right now. I think they could be a sneaky playoff team and get in this year. So I'm picking Patriots.
I mean, almost half the league's going to get in the playoffs, so why not?
Yeah, pretty much. Harris has been running that football very well too.
They're they're much better put together this year than they were last year. So, but I went with Carolina because I like their defense. So if they show up,
okay.
Defense wins
championship. Got our second island pick of the day.
Okay. I like
the Vikings at the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yes, Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
The Vikings couldn't even beat the Cowboys without Dak. So I'm also going to go Ravens. Although the way this year has gone, they'll probably win.
I mean,
the Ravens did get their butts whooped, but they did have the bye week, right? So I think that bye week kind of got them regrouped after that butt whooping from Cincy. So yeah, I'm going to Ravens.
So Billy also took New England and Baltimore.
What's up, Billy V?
All right, so we have the Browns at the Bengals.
Ooh.
Bengals.
Every time there's a big change in a locker room, somebody comes out and wins. I'm gonna go Browns.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Bengals so I can island pick it. I'm going Browns too. And I don't know why. I just, the Bengals lost to the Jets. I think, the Browns could wake up this week, especially with OBJ. It seems like when OBJ isn't with the Browns, they play better. So I'm just going to roll with that.
I mean, hey, listen,
They have
nowhere to go after, but up after that loss to the Jets. So,
yeah.
Kari, who
Really?
did you take on that one?
We got 2-2 on that one. Yeah, she picked Bengals.
Okay.
Bengals.
Billy V
And
agrees with us. 3-1,
I think
3-2.
maybe people should just stick to commercials because he's really good there. I think that's where he should head, but that's neither here nor there.
Those commercials are pretty entertaining, I will say.
They are. I will say that. I agree.
He does a good job with the commercials.
All right, we've got the Bills at the Jaguars. Anybody want to go to Island on this one?
I'm out for sure.
Yeesh. I am not that game's gonna be on red zone so much of just the Bills scoring on them. My gosh.
Yeah, I'm going Bills all day on this one.
Yeah, I've got Josh Allen in the Sideline Sports League this week. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Bills by 30.
I'm also feeling much better than a couple weeks ago about my Urban Meyer makes it to week 12 prediction.
Yeah,
I'm
surprised that headaches haven't started yet. I'm getting those headaches. I'm waiting for that.
Week 12, man. Week 12. I'm telling you, he tried to get fired the other way. It didn't work. So the medical conditions next. He didn't want to go back to the well, but he's got to give it a little time. Otherwise, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Ooh, here's a doozy for you. The Texans, who are getting Tyrod Taylor back.
Oh gosh.
At the Dolphins.
I know this because my homie J Dog, you guys all know Jay Nelson. I wish I could do it for Jay, but for some reason I'm gonna pick the Dolphins. I'll pick the Dolphins to win this week.
I think I went. Isn't it at home for Dolphins?
It is. It's in Miami.
I think I gave the home field advantage on that one.
Cool.
I'm going with my boy Jay Nelson. Houston,
yeah,
let's go.
Okay.
I thought I was going to go Island on that one because I'm actually going Houston as well. Billy V's also
going with us.
Okay. Me and Kari will roll with John Shear's Dolphins.
Okay. We got the Raiders at the Giants.
Without a doubt, Raiders. That's really that's pain. That one is painful to have to say.
I first did process that you're a Chiefs fan for some reason when I'm looking right at you. Yeah, the Raiders are going to win this game, and I think in light of everything that's happened this week, I think the Raiders are actually going to play inspired and make a statement out there and beat the Giants pretty handily this week.
I mean, if we can beat them, they can. I'm sorry.
I'm actually going to go with the Giants.
Wow, really? Okay.
Listen, the Giants. John said it when he came on the show. Or not John.
JB.
Yeah, JB said it when he came on the show. The Giants are that team that they are really bad, and then they find a way to win just enough games that they shouldn't win to get themselves into a bad pick.
Well, your guys' dude Billy V picked the Giants too. It looks like so.
Yeah, so I'm going Giants. I think this is one of those games that are going to win that they shouldn't.
Who you like, Cool?
Here's the Raiders at the beginning of the season. Here's the Raiders about week 8, week 9. Where are we at? We're at week 9. Guess what? They're here. The Giants are going to screw themselves by winning the game they shouldn't win. Giants.
Oh wow. Okay, me and you, Kari.
But Cool's right because the Raiders start off hot, and then someone throws a bucket of water on them, and they fizzled for the rest of the season.
We got them 1 week too soon.
I just think they're going to play inspired this week for some reason, though. But I respect that. But I see the logic with the Giants too.
But there are teams that they do trends, and once you know the trends, they're always true. It's just like everybody is talking about the Rams. And I'm like, look, until the Rams beat the 49ers, I'm not believing in them because they hardly ever beat the 49ers. I need to actually see them get over that hump before I'm going to believe in them.
Right. It's like when people talk about the Bears haven't beat the Packers in forever, and they just get their butts whipped every time they play.
And
Same
it
with
doesn't matter if
Dallas.
the Packers are good or bad or whatever. The Bears just always lose to the Packers.
Very true.
And I get on Megan. Me and Megan tease all the time because she talks about the Cowboys, and I always bring up to her, I'm like, you tell me the last time the Cowboys have beat the Packers. You know, it's not. You guys are 1-8 in the last 9.
So the Chargers at the Eagles. We know who Homer over here is going to take. So
Chargers at Eagles, though. It is in Philly, so Chargers have to
That'll
travel.
be-
Chargers haven't been playing very well. Oh man, do I just want to throw you a bone, cool, and pick Philly for you? I haven't done an upset on this one yet, so I'm gonna pick the Eagles. Screw it.
okay.
Well, I actually am a fan of Hurts. I'm also a fan of Sanders
Herbert.
and Bell, but I like the Eagles. I take the Eagles when I can. So I'm going with you guys with Cool and Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said
Double
earlier
bump.
that Sirianni likes to stick with something once he finds something that he likes. And I think last week he found out he likes running the ball. I think he sticks with it, and the Eagles win this game.
Wow.
Please be right.
Otherwise, we're all wrong. Yeah.
My season's on the line. Please be right.
I was like saying I'm gonna throw Cool a bone, and then everyone picked the Eagles after.
He might be a little bit nervous that we all picked the Eagles.
Billy V picked the Chargers.
There you
We'll
go.
remember that,
Okay.
Billy V.
Whew. Okay, good.
You got a little doubt in there.
Whew. Yeah. 5
I
for
do
5.
think-
I'm like, oh.
I will say it is hard though for a West Coast team, you know, being used. They're gonna have to go play in the East Coast time, and is that a 1:00 start?
It's a 4:00, so they at least do have
Oh.
that going for them.
Yeah, they're playing the same time we are.
Mm.
Like, the game starts 20 minutes
Oh,
before.
that's right. You said you're gonna have one on, you know, in the bedroom and one in the. Well,
Tyler,
that's
please do not get the East Coast bias conversation started, please, sir.
We're not playing the East Coast team this week, so it'll be okay. The Packers at the Chiefs. Can we just assume that you're both taking your homer picks here?
Yeah.
Both just said we always take them regardless.
I'm going to say the reason why Packers win this game is they are going to run the ball. The play actions can be there, but people are going to see that this defense isn't as bad as they think they are. Packers defense steps up in this game.
I'm going to have to go with Tyler.
I think your defense is as bad as people think it is.
First time on this show, and you're going to go against me.
If it was another game, I probably would pick you. But I'm going to have to go with Tyler because that two-headed monster running back thing they got back there against your defense, who almost let us win when we weren't running the ball, I think that's going to be enough.
But have you watched how Nick Bolton, he's our rookie, has stepped up? That he's our secret little pocket or our linebacker that he held.
I have.
He held Henry to 86 yards.
Well, I can
Yeah,
tell you. I can tell you that I know very well that the Chiefs are very good at holding.
They love each other. They love other players. You know, we're going to contact them as much as we can.
Yeah, just showing them some love, right?
My friends, share the love.
So Tyler, I do think your defense is probably as bad as people believe, but only as a unit. I think you have some bright spots on the defense that people don't look at, and I think that's going to be an important factor. But you're also starting a quarterback who's never played a game in the NFL, and I just can't pick the Packers with that situation, even knowing how great that running game is. I'm
totally understand. Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah. You make a reasonable argument, but I still believe the Packers.
Yeah. I mean,
Close.
look, I'm not going to say it
Appreciate
can't
it,
happen.
cool.
I'm not saying it can't happen. It's not by
I
any
think
means a lock.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say close to the fourth quarter. That running game is going to wear down that Kansas City defense throughout the game. You get to that fourth quarter, they're going to find some holes, they're going to find some seams, and they're going to make just enough plays. Now, I'm not saying blowout by any means, but I think they'll be able to find some seams and make just enough plays.
I think this can be a 4-quarter game. I even told you
absolutely.
that, Kari. I think this game is going to be the entire game. No one's blowing anyone out in this football game.
I mean, listen, for Kansas City to win this game, the philosophy is simple to me. They have to turn this into a track meet. They have to open the offense back up, figure out what's the problem, and they need to get it figured out, get the ball downfield, and they need to basically negate Green Bay's running game by putting up enough points that you can't afford to just run the ball. They need to basically force Jordan Love to have to win the game.
We need to be able to set the pace of the game again, because that's not where we've been able to be, and that's been detrimental. That's part of the detriment to our game plans lately.
Makes sense.
All right, we got the Cardinals at the 49ers. Right now, question marks around if Kyler Murray and D Hop are even going to be able to play.
Billy V says that Green Bay is going to be down by 3 scores, so they won't be able to run it.
I mean, that's definitely a KC plan.
But he's a Detroit fan. I just want to put that out there. He's a Lions fan.
Oh,
before I want to put that out there.
Well, just because you don't watch your team win doesn't mean you don't know what other teams can do.
No, I'm just saying he doesn't want Green Bay to win, right? So he's gonna,
he's gonna throw a little bit out there. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you. A little shade, okay.
He's my
It's
favorite.
like a little side jab.
He's my favorite.
So what I will say about this game with Arizona and San Francisco is I even brought this up on James Tatum's show, The Gauntlet, this week. And I said, Arizona without JJ Watt, I do question how they're going to stop running backs. Teams are going to be able to run the ball on Arizona. And for some reason, with Colt McCoy playing in this game, you might, if he plays, right? I don't know if Kyler is going to play. I have this feeling Colt McCoy is going to play in this game, and Colt is going to McChoke. I'm picking the 49ers.
Colt McChoke. I love it.
I actually kind of hope that Kyler actually plays. And the reason why I would actually rather see Kyler play is if he plays, he's not going to be healthy. His ankle's not going to allow him to have the same mobility he normally has. And that's really what makes him dangerous. I almost feel like having a less mobile Kyler Murray might be a bit of an advantage.
For Arizona?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't really be, upset if we face Colt McCoy, but
Well, you're picking the 49ers. We already know that, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know that. So Billy V said he's not a homer. He's just speaking the truth. So, okay, I can respect that, Billy V. Just had to give you a little bit of
we'll see.
time. Yeah.
We'll see.
You know how we do here to play college. You know how we do. But I'm gonna say this. I hardly ever do this, but this is a game where I feel like I have to do this. If Kyler Murray plays, I'm picking Arizona. If Kyler Murray doesn't play, I'm picking the 49ers. So I won't be able to make my pick until Sunday morning, but that's my criteria.
Oh.
Well, I'm running with your theory there. That cool. I have them picked, but if Kyler doesn't play, I'm going to switch my pick.
Yeah.
I'm waiting until Sunday to figure out. I mean, right now it's put in as Cardinals, but Sunday it may change to 49ers.
And you guys heard me. I said I'm picking the 49ers with the assumption that Colt McCoy is going to play this game on Sunday.
Colt McChoke.
Colt McChoke, yeah.
Billy
I don't believe in
Colt
Colt.
McCoy. Colt McCoy is the backup, Billy.
Yeah, it's Colt McCoy. So, yeah.
All right, we got the Titans, who are now Derrick Henryless, going against the Rams.
Is Von Miller playing this week too?
He should be able to play.
I mean,
You doubt he's playing it?
I mean, because you got to think, usually when you bring a guy in, he usually takes a week or two to get his kind of learn the defense and stuff like that. So I wouldn't expect him to play right away.
I'm picking the Rams anyway, though. The Rams, to me, are like the scariest team in the NFC, maybe even in the National Football League right now. I'm picking the Rams.
Yeah, Rams. Yeah, pretty much.
So I think even without Derrick Henry, that the Titans are still going to be able to run the ball. But I'm still not picking them. I'm still going to go with the Rams.
It's just hard.
I just want to go switcheroo on you.
Even if they don't run, but the problem is like they have to run the ball. Adrian Peterson's going to have to, because if you put all that pressure on Tannehill, man, I'm telling you, like he's a quarterback that works off of the play action so well. So if they're not going to run the football well, you're going to see the Ryan Tannehill from Miami show up. You know, I'm just being honest. He's an okay quarterback. That's just kind of who Ryan Tannehill is.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the Rams too,
I'm with you. I'm with you, Billy B. Every time I have to pick the Cowboys, I'm with you.
All right. Monday night, we got the Bears at the Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah, I'm picking Steelers.
I'm going to go Steelers.
I think I picked Steelers too.
Yeah, better coach is going to win.
And then next Thursday, we have the Ravens at the Dolphins.
Oh
Did they just not one competitive game on Thursday night?
Ravens win this game easily on Thursday night.
You know, birds eat fish. So.
Oh my goodness. So the Ravens get the Ravens get the Vikings and then the Dolphins the week after. Talk about bouncing back after a bye week after losing to Cincinnati.
All I can say is go Miami, continue to lose. Lose for me, please.
That's
why you picked Houston, because you want that draft pick. Okay, I see what you're doing now. Saying it's for Jay Nelson. Okay.
It's for Jay. It just so happens to help the Eagles as well, but it's for my boy Jay.
He gave y'all that Aaron Rodgers answer.
Yeah. I will say congratulations, cool, to your Atlanta Braves winning the championship or winning the World Series. I saw the little bit of the parade, saw some of my friends that actually went to it that were in Georgia, so shout out to you guys. Obviously, I'm a Cubs fan, so who knows if we're even going to be back to a World Series for like another 100 and some years. So who knows?
Well, you know, man, this guy wouldn't even let me mention the word Braves for like the last month.
Hey man, every year I talk about them, or we talk about them, they blow it. So I'm like nothing until they win.
Kari, are you a Royals fan?
Well, when I was little, I got to go to both teams a lot to watch them because I'm in the southwest corner of Missouri.
Oh, okay.
We now have the Cardinals AAA in Springfield, which is like a hop, skip, and a jump from my house. And so especially when my son was younger, we'd go and sit in the outfield for $5 a game and enjoy it. Baseball is my gateway drug back to football. So I will tolerate it through the summer and kind of follow it until I can get back into the sport I love, and that's football.
All I will say is that I like your answer of the Royals a lot more than the Cardinals, obviously.
Sound like my co-host with the tolerate baseball comments.
Well, the difference is I don't tolerate basketball. I go all in on basketball once the NFL season is over. I just tolerate basketball during.
Only
baseball, sir.
Oh, I don't even tolerate baseball. I barely even know what's going on in baseball.
NFL's my favorite. I love basketball, but I did play baseball all through high school, so I do have a soft spot for baseball too.
Yeah,
I think I was the best when I was younger at baseball, but I've always liked basketball and football more.
So see, way back and barely after they added color to TV, which is about my age. I'm joking, but they only played in our area. We only got football and baseball. So I tolerate baseball. Of course, when I was younger, I liked it because they're, who doesn't? You guys wouldn't, but the guys in the tight pants, that type thing. But
yeah, definitely not.
My family goes because they like the games and they like baseball. And I'm like, I'm going because I'm between ages 13 and 20, I'm like, I'm shopping. Thanks.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't doing that.
Well, I don't think that's what you guys do, but that, as a young girl, that's why I liked baseball. I actually met back to the Royals. I met George and Ken Brett when they were both playing at the same time for KC, and then it was really sad when they sent Ken over to Japan League.
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
So I'm that old. I'm George Brett old and Ozzie Smith old.
Legend, though. George Brett.
Definitely.
What a legend.
My co-host is like, why are we talking baseball?
Please don't take that personally and let me come back sometime.
Like baseball? We talking baseball? Go Iverson on
It may be my fault. I'm sitting up here with a Braves uniform on, like I'm about to go play a game, so it may have something to do with it.
Yeah, you got the drip on tonight. I see ya.
Yeah, man, I saved it especially for this show.
Hey man, I don't mind you guys talking baseball. I'm just not going to participate in the conversation.
Not
Hey,
at
that's
all.
okay. It's okay.
He looks so disinterested.
Yeah, because I am. But what do you want me to? What do you want me to do? Sit over here and go, baseball sucks? I mean,
Yeah, don't do that.
nobody.
Yeah, we don't want
that's
that.
That's what I'm saying. Like nobody wants that.
Yeah, yeah.
wants that,
There's plenty of sports that people talk about, and some of them I'm just always like, I won't make mention to them. But there are a couple sports that I don't watch, so I'm in the same situation as you are, Steven. So like, if people are talking to me about those, I'm just like, oh yeah, I respect it. I don't know nothing about it, but
The glazed eye look is what I give. Be like, I feel stuck.
Yeah, when people talk to me, it's usually like soccer or football. When people talk to me about that, I'm just like,
It's easy though. If you have somebody who's a fan of a sport that you know nothing about, all you have to do is just be like, oh yeah, so like who do you really like right now? Like who's surprising you? And and they'll talk for like 45 minutes. I
yeah.
do it all the time with him.
He does. He does.
And he knows I'm doing it, but he's just so happy to talk about it. He just
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll still do it.
Hey, gentlemen, I hate to bow out, but I've had a couple calls come in that I need to return.
Oh no
Sure.
worries. We're
Appreciate
about at the
you
end of the
joining
show
us.
anyway.
Yeah, it's that time to log on off anyway. We're a little over, so appreciate both of y'all coming to chat with us tonight and share your insights on your team. And you're welcome back anytime. Even though you did talk baseball on my show, you're still welcome to come back.
I've had a blast. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
You too.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
And for everybody else, if you have not already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down in the bottom right-hand corner. And we'll see you next Friday night. Cool. Tell them what time.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Go Pack, go.
Play call.